Welcome to the podcast of School Beyond Limitations. In this podcast, you will learn how to guide your child through their school life with the intention to help them find their unique essence that will allow your daughter, your son to live a fulfilled and meaningful life. What are the risks and the benefits of online learning in an online school context? My name is Dr. Martina Giromin. I'm the co-founder, the CEO, and the designer of School Beyond Limitations. If you are interested in seeing your child living a fulfilled and happy life, then you may be interested in this channel, so please subscribe. Well, the question is, what are the benefits and the risks of online learning? And indeed, there are certainly benefits, a number of benefits, but there are also risks. And I would like to get into more detail with the different elements. And for sure, there are even more, but I would like to highlight the most important ones. Let's start with the benefits of online learning. The first and most important benefit, in my view, is certainly the flexibility that online learning actually allows the student and their family to have. That means that if I'm enrolled in an online learning context, like School Beyond Limitations, that means that I can take my school with me. I can travel from place to place, I can move from country to country, and I still keep everything the same. Not, of course, the environment, but the school environment will be the same. I will have the same peers, I will have the same facilitators, and that gives me, as a student, a lot of security, a lot of certainty in a phase of my life where I have to face so many different changes around me. Another big benefit of online learning is because of the different online learning tools and the personalized learning environment, I can, as a student, pursue my own goals. I am not tied to a specific curriculum. I have my own destination, so each student within the classroom context can work at their own pace, together with their facilitator, together with the online tools that allow me to be a little bit faster, a little bit slower. And it doesn't matter. It's important that we are all learning at a level that we feel challenged enough, but not pressurized. Because if we feel pressurized, then for many students, that takes them into a situation of demotivation. While if they are working at their specific level, and that may be different for every student, every child, every human being, but this is, the big duty to find out for the facilitator to support the student alongside the wonderful tools that are there available for each student to pursue and to grow as a human being, as an academic, as an intellectual being, as a spiritual being, as a mental being, as a physical being also. Using such tools allows the student to feel more secure, to feel supported, and to understand that there is no pre-given pace that needs to be followed. And they also learn how to deal with IT tools, how to deal with AI. They understand, because this is in an online learning setting like SBL, like School Beyond Limitations, we put a huge emphasis on the understanding that, artificial intelligence has lots of benefits, but also lots of risks. And I will talk about this specific topic at in another podcast. But raising awareness for artificial intelligence, raising awareness for how to use IT and how best to use it. That's a big advantage, a big benefit from being immersed in an online learning setting. Another possibility and another great benefit in our view, and this is what we see every day, of this online learning setting, is that students from all over the place come together. So it's kind of blending geographical boundaries, because students do not even they are not even aware anymore that they are sitting in different places. They are actually feeling connected. They feel connected with their peers from different countries in Europe, in Africa, in Asia, and they bring in their own cultural background, and this cultural background will help them understand what it means to deal and to face a society that is constantly growing, a society that is constantly making leaps. And this raises also their awareness of what it means to actually be in an observant position instead of judging, of rather understanding the other party and then finding commonalities where there are commonalities and understanding the diversity by understanding that they are a community and that they can build knowledge together. And that's a huge benefit that online learning allows us to do. And maybe if I may just bring an example, one of our students is in Bangladesh, and the majority of our students are in Europe, but the student from Bangladesh brings us so many life experiences. He's working in orphanages in Bangladesh, and that opens a huge new possibility for our students to understand there's a different reality outside of Europe, outside of Northern America. There's a reality that requires our attentions. That doesn't mean that we don't need any attention in Europe or in Northern America, but it means that there is a different background, and this is wonderful to see. So it's unifying, and it's also another very big benefit, I think, and this is related to students who are living in remote areas that have internet connection, but who are so remote and it's very difficult for them to actually attend a physical school. So it allows them to be connected with people from all over the world and open their mind towards an understanding of how complex and yet how simple life can be. Well, these are just a number of benefits, and I think they show you how many possibilities online learning actually allows students to integrate into their lives. But there are also risks, and I would like you to know about the risks that we also see, although we are an online school. And since we see those risks, we actually cater for dissolving those risks much more likely, because we are aware of them. One of the risks is certainly the lack of face-to-face interaction and socialization. Although I said before that our students are extremely bonding, and as I mentioned already in another podcast, and I will mention again, our students very often get so connected with one another, and also facilitators, that they reach out to one another and they visit one another, they meet in person. So this lack of face-to-face meetings is supported by School Beyond Limitations, that we say we do not only offer residential weeks 3 times per year in secondary school. We have now also launched a new program which we call Experiential Learning Beyond Limitations program of School Beyond Limitations, where students can experience a kind of boarding school setting for a few weeks either in South Africa or in Europe, and they are coming together. They still have their online learning moments in the morning, but they are together, 4 or 6 of them, where they meet face to face. And if they are not doing that, our mentors and facilitators are doing a lot to raise awareness that students actually go out after their lessons, and we only have 3 hours of lessons in the morning, which allows them to have a lot of time to connect with people face to face after the online learning. So online learning limitations, so to speak, are constantly a topic within School Beyond Limitations, and we make our students aware of that so that they don't become isolated. And that's a second risk, because isolation is something that a human being can't live with. I mean, don't get me wrong, there are people who and personalities that like to be by themselves, but not in complete isolation unless this is a choice. And if it's a conscious choice, then that's something that we also support. But isolated human being is a being that needs to be in connection with other people. We are made to connecting with other human beings. So that's why our facilitators do anything to actually promote getting together in person with other people. Another risk that we have encountered, and that we actually really provide our students with a lot of growth awareness, is the being sucked into online gaming. And there we work very closely with parents and students together, so that the student gets aware that getting passively sucked into online gaming has a big risk for them to get numb instead of being creative. And this is what we actually show our students. You are a creative being, so create something new. So again, our online setting actually allows them to be confronted and to be reflected the risk of going too much into that direction. And that's why we promote a very strong awareness around this. Another risk is the lack of not having a school context. Yeah, and that's students do not go out. They don't have to, basically, they would not have to dress up to get to school. But this is what we really emphasize a lot at School Beyond Limitations. We tell them it's so important that you have morning routines, that you get ready for school, that you dress up as if you were to leave. I'm also in my environment, but I'm getting dressed up. I have my morning routines. I'm setting my goals. And this is what our students learn on a daily basis. You create your own learning space. It shouldn't be your bedroom. You create your own learning space that is your school space, where you connect, where you are invited to contribute, to share your knowledge, to grow your knowledge, and so forth. And so as you see, there are benefits and there are risks about an online learning context. And certainly it's important, what we always say, to be aware of that and to be exposed to a learning environment that actually integrates it all, that allows students to see that we are living in a non-life situation. And therefore, if you think that this is the right space for your child, for your daughter, for your son, then please reach out to us, apply on our website. You can apply. The link will be put into the description afterwards. And I'm looking forward to receiving your application. Maybe School Beyond Limitations is the right school for your daughter, for your son. All the best, and see you at our next podcast.
At School Beyond Limitations, we support our students find their unique essence. Feel free to share the content of this podcast with other parents. We are here to show that your children can, indeed, bring their unique essence into life. So, reach out to us if you think that this is what you'd like your daughter, your son to experience, or apply through our website. Also, leave your comments, your questions, or your review about the podcast. Share it with others. And as you know, sharing is caring.